In Florida, the 1996 legislature mandated the outsourcing of child welfare services through the use of a private lead agency design known as community-based care. The intent of the original statute was to strengthen the support and commitment of local communities to the reunification and care of children and their families. Today, all 67 counties in Florida have implemented community-based care through contracts with 20 lead agencies. A Title IV-E waiver demonstration project was authorized and implemented statewide in October 2006. This 5-year plan was authorized by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families. The purpose of the waiver project is to demonstrate that improved outcomes for children and families can be achieved by allowing normally restricted 4E foster care funds to be used for a wider variety of child welfare services.
The major change that's occurred is we've had a 37% reduction in children in foster care. 3.5 years ago, there were 29,000 children out of home care. Today, there are a little more than 18,000. But I think more important than the numbers, kids have a bond to their biological parents. If mom has a substance abuse problem, it doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't love her child or that her child doesn't love her, but that she's got an issue that she's got to deal with. The extent to which we can deal with that problem, rather than removing the child or rather than keeping the child permanently removed, I think it's better off for the child and for the mom and dad.
The traditional 4E money was spent for children who were in licensed foster care or in high-end placement group homes. And the only way a family could get services, no matter how small their issue, was to have the child enter the foster care system, because that's where the money was made available. And now with the 4E waiver dollars, we are able to be very flexible with our spending. We can do family team conferencing and keep children in their home without ever having to leave the home. We can in fact serve families that don't even have to touch the dependency system. We can support grandparents who have the children and give them advice and help them maneuver the system, and they never have to enter the formal child welfare system.
It was anticipated the waiver project could improve results in 4 areas. 1. The expansion of the existing child welfare service array. Examples include increased child abuse prevention, increased services to divert families from entering the court system, increased use of family finding strategies to keep children attached to their roots, and expanded kinship care to support family members who take on the role of parenting.
Just if you need to talk to someone, someone's there to talk to you. If you need something, they get it for you. If Hannah needs something, it's there. It's a program, it's the best program that I've ever been associated with. It is the most caring, most true-feeling organization that really does help. They are there for you. And that means everything to someone that needs advice or anything. I mean, it's just a wonderful program. And I know it's not just me. There's thousands of people that are being helped by this program.
We like to, we would color, talk about our problems to each other, and we'll group up and say what happens and what doesn't and we really want, and all kinds of stuff like that. We really like it.
They have been such a blessing to us. I'm telling you, food, clothing, bedding, and you know, they really have been a great help, and they also was a tremendous help in of us moving into this house. If it hadn't been for them, I don't know, we probably would have just still been there scrunched in that apartment, and then it would have been worse because I would have lost my voucher. And so Kids Central, I'm telling you, they have been great. They have been so helpful.
And she can cook real good. At breakfast time, she cooked. She cooked real good. I love my grandma.
And I'm so grateful I am. I'm very grateful. I'm thankful. I am.
2. Reduce the number of children entering out-of-home care. Since waiver implementation, there has already been a nearly 28% reduction in the average number of children served in out-of-home or foster care. In some districts, the reduction is running as high as 50%.
5 years ago when I came to Kids Central, our 5 counties had over 4,500 children in the formal child welfare system. Most of those children were in licensed care, and our foster homes were crowded, our group homes were crowded. Today we have 1,700 children in these 5 counties in the formal system, and only 1,000 of those children are in out-of-home care, and a majority of those children who are in out-of-home care are now housed with relatives. We've been able to change our numbers from most children being in licensed care to serving many children in their families, and if they have to be removed from the biological parents, to be with other relatives, and the smallest number now are the children in licensed care.
3. Improve child outcomes, including permanency, safety, and well-being. By 2008-2009, the number of children reunified with their original caregiver within 12 months was increased to 64.8%. The rate of monthly visits to supervise children's cases increased from 85% in 2006 to more than 98% today.
The waiver has allowed us to have a major amount of flexibility, or greater flexibility, over than we had a few years ago with regard to family finding and the children in foster care. We're now entertaining family members that would have never been even called or contacted 3 or 4, 5 years ago, that we can now contact and bring them in to be a part of the future of this child, and bring them in and give them the opportunity to connect with this child.
I can say without any hesitation whatsoever that I have never in my entire life been as impressed by an organization as I have by Kids Central, and the efforts that, and the extensive efforts that they went to get me here, to enable that to happen, to get me with my grandchildren. No, I cannot praise this organization highly enough.
4. Decrease the expenditures in out-of-home care while allowing expenditures in prevention and in-home services to increase. Adjusting for inflation, front-end services and prevention expenditures has nearly doubled during the waiver implementation, rising from 3.3% in 2005-2006 to 6.1% in 2008-2009. As the expenditures in front-end services continue to rise, family and children outcomes continue to improve. By every measure, the Title IV-E waiver project in Florida has been a resounding success.
I've been in child welfare about 6 years. Within that short amount of time, I've seen a tremendous difference in the way that we help families. I love that now I'm able to say to a mom and dad when I pull up, or one of my staff members pull up, we're not here to take your children away from you. We're here to put in services to preserve your family, because we have the tools now that we didn't have in the past.
You know, out there are a lot of families who need people like Deborah, like Kids Central, to help us succeed in life. All the people who were combined, including Miss Marietta and people I mentioned prior, they make a difference in our community. Agencies like Deborah, like Kids Central, like Guardian, Ad Litem, and they make a big difference on earth to help us who need guidance, and they're valuable to us. It was great.